Hi everybody, welcome back to Mama's Chunks of Love. Let's talk about baby number 2 and being scheduled for a C-section versus having an emergency C-section. So for my second son, we had a scheduled C-section. So we went into the hospital for our scheduled time at 9:20 in the morning. You're supposed to fast the whole 8 hours before. And they put us in a room. Me and my husband could both go in, even though it's COVID and we had to wear masks and all that good jazz. So basically I waited in a room and they put my IV in. I was scheduled for 12:30 to have my son. However, another woman had to have an emergency C-section before me, which pushed my C-section back further. So time goes by, about 6:30 at night happens, and they say, okay, it's time. So I walk down to the operating room. My husband goes and puts on all his dressings and everything. He couldn't be in the room when I got my spinal tap done, so I sit on the edge of the bed and they give me the numbing shot in my spine, which yes, I could feel, but it wasn't bad. It was, a little burst of like a sting, kind of, but not too bad, and some pressure. And then they put in the spinal blocker, and that, you can feel that. It's definitely a needle. It's a smaller needle supposedly than when you have an epidural. So that was interesting, but I felt the pressure, and then I felt kind of the explosion of the medication go into my spine, and then I started to get numb, and so I laid back down on the table, both arms out, one on each side, and they started just kind of cleaning my belly. They put up the sheet so I couldn't see anything, and he said, we will let you know when we get started. We're going to pinch you really hard, and you're going to let us know if you can feel it. So they pinched my toes a few times. I said, yeah, I can still feel them, but I'm starting not to be able to wiggle them. And then a few minutes later, he said, oh, by the way, we started because we pinched you really hard and you couldn't feel anything. So I was like, okay, all right. So you can feel your body kind of rocking a little bit. And then I don't know, a minute or two later, out comes your child. My son needed a vacuum to be sucked out, but no repercussions from that. He was totally fine. So after that, I asked my surgeon, Dr. OBGYN, before I had the surgery to tell me how much longer they had sewing me up. Because with my first baby, if you watched my first video, I was induced for 7 days and tried many different things to have him, and that didn't work, and it ended up being an emergency C-section. So I asked her in advance with this one, please just tell me kind of what's going on, not in great gory graphic detail or anything, but just enough so that I know how much longer you're going to be sewing me up, so I'm not just, sitting here trying to figure out what's happening. She was very gentle and was like, okay, Allie, we have just, a few more minutes. I'm just, putting in your stitches. Everything looks good. So that was helpful. And then by then my husband was over, looking at our son. And so it was a much, much better C-section than last time. I was awake the whole time. They didn't knock me out because I freaked out like they did in the first time. So it was a lot better. I got to do skin to skin with him, and just experience the whole thing. And it wasn't as bad this time around. So, but afterwards they put something that was new. Is they put this big silver metallic Band-Aid over my incision, and that was supposed to help make the healing process faster, and I think it definitely did. I was up walking around that day, not as sore, didn't feel like my body was gonna fall apart, nothing was gonna fall out. It was interesting. I actually felt okay. However, I did have some clotting. I had a really big clot that came out, And so I had to have some medication to help kind of thin the blood a little bit so I wouldn't have any more clots. And that left me with some very interesting side effects from those medications that were not fun. A little too TMI, but you know, childbirth is a lot of TMI. So, but anyways, it was really good. I was up walking, didn't have to take any Percocets or anything like that. I was just taking ibuprofen. So it was a much easier delivery. I came home on day 2 after having him. Mostly because of the COVID stuff, they wanted to get me out of the hospital, but I felt fine. I didn't feel like I needed to be in the hospital for, 3 or 4 days. So I came home and I was up walking about, and I kept getting scolded by my husband, like, stop walking, just sit, relax. So it was a different experience. It was much more positive. So who knows, maybe we'll go for baby number 3 and I'll keep you posted. I'll do a TTC for baby number 2, and if we do try for number 3, I will do a TTC for that as well, trying to conceive, if anyone doesn't know what TTC means. So, and being a mom of 2 is definitely different than being a mom of 1, but it's fun and well worth it. So, and they grow up so fast. Before I know it, both my boys will be up and in school, and I won't even get to see them that much anymore. So, got to take advantage of the little ones. So, anyways, thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and anyone who's going to have a baby right now. I know COVID is a very scary time, but you just gotta keep chugging along, because it's just a few days out of the big scheme of things. So stay positive, and childbirth is scary, but it's a one-day thing, and then they're out. So just keep that in mind, and I wish you luck. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys like and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned because I have some more videos hopefully coming out. One on weight loss during while breastfeeding, and some athletic clothing that I've been starting to collect. So yeah, stay tuned. Thanks guys. Bye.